Call the meeting to order and everybody rise. Good evening, everyone.
Evening. Evening.
I usually don't say that, but I want to start by welcoming our new superintendent. He will be starting officially on July 1st. So he and his wife are here celebrating their anniversary this evening.
Oh, wow. Happy anniversary.
Hey, that's what we do, right? Welcome. All right, so first off, we need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. The motion to approve the Board of Education meeting minutes for June 6, 2019.
Move. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. All right, next is patron comments, and we do have a comment tonight, so I'm going to read this. During patron comments, citizens may address the Board of Education concerning issues related to the school district. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, so tonight we do have one speaker. Please note the board's discretion. The board or superintendent may respond immediately to an issue raised during patron comments for clarification. However, our general practice is to respond to the comment at a later time via phone call or written message if a response is needed. So we have a table with microphones ready so both the board and the audience may hear the patron comments clearly. And the board meeting proceedings are also recorded and posted on Rockwood's YouTube channel. So this evening we'd like to welcome Tom Chessman to the board. Come on up, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for the opportunity to address you people. My name's Tom Chessman. I'm a school bus driver for Rockwood School District, of which I'm very proud of. I take it very seriously and enjoy the opportunity to serve the district. I came tonight to compliment Dr. Knos because he was an excellent superintendent and he worked very well with all of us, and I thought he would be here, and I just wanted him to hear that personally because I enjoyed our conversations, and I have a lot of respect for him, and have already met the new director, superintendent. I'm so sorry. And hopefully in the future we will have some good conversations as well. On another note, I wanted to thank the negotiating committee from both the school district and the Teamsters for the excellent job. It was a hard thing to do, but it was accomplished with professionalism, and I think we have a bright future working together for the school district. That's all I have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tom.
All right, next we have superintendent board comments. So tonight we have Dr. Lisa Counts table with us, and she is going to give us some superintendent comments, correct?
I am. In fact, I guess I'm giving you assistant superintendent comments because I am not the superintendent. Let's be clear about that. So we're excited for Dr. Miles to be here. And thank you guys for coming on your anniversary. I mean, it was a pretty romantic night. All right, so I have a few announcements on behalf of the superintendent. Like we do, like our tradition of introducing new administrative hires, I want to introduce a member this evening. In closed session, our board approved Mr. Brian Reed, and Brian is here. There he is. Brian's here this evening, yes. Let me tell you a little bit about our friend, Mr. Reed. He has been approved as the Rockwood Coordinator of STEM and Digital Learning, K-12. Brian currently serves as an instructional technology specialist in the district. In this role, he has been an online learning designer for Launch, a program that provides online virtual courses for students. He also coordinates the district's robotics program and is an ISTE certified, which stands for International Society of Technology and Education trainer. Impressive. Prior to that, he was a Spanish teacher and a coach in Rockwood, as well as he was employed in the Northwest District, Jennings, and Fort Zumwalt school districts. Brian earned a bachelor's degree in Spanish and a master's degree in secondary education from the University of Missouri St. Louis. He will take over the coordinator position for Mr. Bob Deneau, who was recently promoted as our Rockwood Director of Technical Support Services. So congratulations, Brian. We're excited to have you join us in this role. Congratulations. All right. Dr. Knost is known for going off script from time to time, so I thought I would, follow his lead, as that's what you do in this spot, right? So before I go to the prepared comments, I, of course, wanted to just give congratulations to our friend and colleague, Kathy Orta, her last board meeting this evening. So Kathy is, she is a staple to all of us and keeps us afloat, and we're excited for her retirement, but we are going to miss her immensely. She has been a pillar of professionalism, and she's just been a great friend too. So congratulations to you, Kathy, and you will be greatly missed. All right, so a few announcements of things happening around the district. This is exciting. Construction is nearing completion at our new Eureka Elementary School located just east of Six Flags. You guys have probably been out that way and seen the construction is really moving along, so it's very exciting. The two-story, more than 108,000 square foot building is designed to accommodate about 600 students. This will be the first new school in our district since Fairway Elementary in 2004, and it will be ready for the first day of school August 12th, so that's exciting. And I know Paul Northington is doing lots of dances to keep the rain away, right? We had that conversation the other day, so we need to keep that moving, right? Rockwood volunteers packed more than 200 bags to send home to summer school students as part of the district's Got Your Backpack program on June 5th. As organizers point out, hunger does not take a vacation. Rockwood's Got Your Backpack program serves district students whose families struggle with homelessness and food shortage. Students in need receive a backpack filled with nutritious food items that are easy to open, simple to prepare, and can accommodate a variety of living circumstances. The Got Your Backpack food pantry is located at Fairway Elementary, and that's a fantastic program that our district is certainly proud of and has kind of been a model for other community service give back programs in our district, so we're super proud of them. Though it's mid-June, Rockwood's Utah Valley Elementary administrators opened the school library last Thursday evening so students could have access to books to read over the summer. School librarian Julie Owens is calling the event UV's Summer Book Checkout. Principal Dana Thorne said it's all in an effort to prevent summer slide, a general decline in reading and math skills that is seen among American students over the summer months. Thorne said they tried to spread it out so kids can get 3 books now, have them until July, return them, and get 3 more. Students can hold on to that second set of books until school starts in August. So way to go, Utah. Read on in Rockwood. And the last one that I'm going to cover, and then we're going to kind of watch a little video to wrap it up. Rockwood Vic kindergarten students and their families attended a special introductory event at Clarkson Valley Early Childhood on June 10th to help prepare them for their first day of school. And so I think we're going to watch a little bit about that.
Can you teach me how to play? All right, you tell me what to do.
We are doing something so fun today. So all of our incoming kindergartners have been invited to come today, and we are just having an experiential learning day.
Plate, pick it up. If your word is on the plate, pick it up.
And so we have some of our partners like I See Me Bookstore that's going to be here selling books and making sure that our kids know that there are stories that are reflective of them, that they can see themselves. The social workers are hosting a social emotional learning Candyland game to talk about emotions. We have the CCL here helping parents learn what more they can do to help expand their kids' brains and learning over the summer.
Big step is the first one, okay? but he is excited, jumping around. He's actually learning. So just to get out and know what type of work that they're going to be doing and learning each day and how it affects them in their life. If you get off the bus, you want to turn around and you want to wait for your driver to tell you it's okay to cross over. She's going to give you a signal, so you want to be watching for your driver, okay?
I think it's a great time for us to get to know kids and for them to get to know us, to do some fun things. Learning is bigger than just reading and writing and sitting down and writing something down. It's really about ways to explore learning and to give them the ability to have fun while they're doing it. And so I'm hoping that that's what we do today.
Excellent, very good. We're so excited for those new little kindergartners to join us. I love their energy. That's all I have.
Board comments.
Had the opportunity to attend the Missouri State School Board Summer Leadership Conference, and it was well done, again, as always. Lots of emphasis on legislative issues now, but some really good points, so I enjoyed the day. And we elected our new officers for the school board.
Okay. Presenting us. Anyone else? Oh, me? All right. So, Kathy Orta, we have to just tell you as a board, you are going to be so absolutely missed. And you've done great things. And we're very happy for you that you're going to be spoiling those grandkids an awful lot. So we put together, well, Jamie put together, a little something for you to take into your retirement. And on behalf of the board, thank you very much. All right, any other board comments? All right, so I need a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So move.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Dr. Kinder?
As always, I read the donors' donations, and there's 5 great ones again tonight. Hopefully you can see it. I'm going to read part of it to you. First is for Rockwood Summit High School, the Falcon football boosters. They gave $3,203 for donation to Falcon Performance account, and you can read what that is for. Falcon football boosters, $3,900 to purchase Huddle, HUDL, add-ons and new headsets. And I must be dreaming, but I thought they made a big donation last time, too. So this is like 2 board meetings in a row. We'll have to talk to the principal and see if they can get three of these in a row. Donation Stanton Elementary, Stanton PTO, modifications to the facilities, $11,411 to create a cohesive storage area. And then you can read about that. Westridge PTO, Yaluka Moore is the president. Monetary, $7,900. Items to benefit the students, and a lot of those are portable disc, optional classroom seatings, etc. The last one is Werther PTO, $2,500. The printer and toner will be used by supporting our student curriculum. Really 5 excellent gifts, and we do thank all the donations and the donors each and every time we have a board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kinder. Anyone else? All right, so the motion is to approve the consent agenda items as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. All right, next we have Dr. Terry Harris coming up. We need a motion to approve the review of policy 2250, foreign exchange students.
Move. Second.
Motion and a second. Good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
You guys. So this is just a routine policy check. Obviously, Rockwood is committed to the foreign exchange program. We have wonderful students participating. Pretty much all of our schools participate. We want to continue to participate, but it's been since 2012 since the last time we actually reviewed the policy. So I'm simply asking, as part of our process, to allow me and the student services team with our attorneys to review and update the policy if there are needs for updating. Obviously, been over student services. One of the things that we're trying to do is make sure that we go through all the policies that are related to student services and ensure that they're updated in a timely fashion. So it's just a simple update and an ask for.
Questions?
Great. Know how many students from Rockwood participate in this each year?
Actually, receiving students?
No.
No, not off the top of my head. But this year we had a request for, which triggered some of this, 5 students from 3 high schools, but total it can be anywhere between 10 to 20 students.
Year.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else? All right, so the motion is to approve the review of policy 2250, foreign exchange students. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you. All right, next we need a motion to adopt the 2020 through 2025 Comprehensive School Improvement Plan, otherwise known as CSIP, the way forward as presented.
Move.
We have a motion and a second. The way forward committee is coming forward.
Hello.
Well,
Good evening.
How did that work?
This is very odd. Okay, let's just put that out there. Terry did recommend, like, maybe I could present from up there, but then I felt weird. It just feels more comfortable here. So, good evening. We're going to start with a quick video, and then we'll start the presentation.
Take a look at us. What do you see? We reflect the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of our community. Our potential is limitless. We're curious and creative. And we problem solve for an ever-changing world. We love life, love learning, and work hard to succeed. Because what we learn today paves the way for tomorrow in college, career, and citizenship. We embrace every challenge with motivation and grit, while taking care of each other thoughtfully and respectfully. We know our community stands with us, doing whatever it takes. Because when we stretch ourselves to reach greater heights, we lift each other up. We are the way forward, the future of the Rockwood School District.
All right, nice, right? That is, of course, all the credit goes to Kathy and her wonderful department. Alex Fees, Curtis was part of that.
That was awesome.
Probably many others. So, but you know, the filming and the whole production was, it is for sure. Yeah, it's a pretty great one. So, we love that video because we do really feel like it represents what we're trying to encapsulate with our way forward comprehensive school improvement plan. So let's get started. So tonight, what I'd like to do, our presentation tonight is designed just to give you an overview specifically about our goals, objectives, and action steps, and then to spend a little time talking about that measurement piece. How are we going to hold ourselves accountable? How are we going to track our progress? And then therefore come back and revise those objectives and action steps to make sure we're fulfilling those goal areas. So that's where we're going to really dig in tonight. I wanted you to reference, you have this in front of you, again, a fantastic publication by our friends in the communications department and their great graphic design and writing and organizing here. Everything's here for your reference. So I'm, of course, not going to read 13 pages to you. I know you all will study this on your own. But I just want it here as a reference because instead of creating creating a separate presentation this evening. I just thought that I would reference some of the items in this booklet because it really is everything you need to know about our school improvement plan is right here in this booklet. So I'll be referencing that. So I wanted to start on page 4 and reference for you. We're going to just kind of start there. And the part that I want to point out is prior to the page 4 in this booklet are many of the items that I've updated you on previously. Our community engagement process, our planning process, and that's kind of the front section of that book. I'm not going to walk through that again because I've provided you guys updates regarding that planning process and community engagement process up to this point. So on page 4, we start with our district core values there: every student, caring schools, collective responsibility, and optimizing resources. So those are really the foundation of our beliefs and our values here in Rockwood. From that led us to the development of the profile of a learner. And again, I've reviewed this with you in the past, and I want to reference it tonight just as a reminder that this really is going to serve as our visual to encapsulate our mission, our vision, and our values. So whether you're a member of our Rockwood staff, whether you're a community member, you're a parent, it's all right here. This visual really should tell you what our mission is, our vision is, what our values are, and what our priorities are. And those items over on the right-hand column there tell you about the values and the areas that we want to focus on so all students can possess those when they leave the Rockwood School District. So from the profile of a learner, we then turned to the development of our goal areas. And as you remember, we have goal leaders that facilitated each of these areas. So I certainly want to introduce those folks and give them lots of credit for the work that's gone into this plan because they have really carried a huge portion of this work. So we had goal leaders for each of the 7 areas. So we have and you'll notice that these are represented by the acronym SUCCESS. So Shelley Willett is not here with us tonight. She's here virtually, right? So Shelley's here online. Can you hear us, Shelley?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hi, Shelley. Yeah, we can hear you. Hi. So thank you for joining us. So so Shelley was the facilitator for Student Academic Learning and Community Networks. Our friend Dr. Terry Harris was the facilitator for Universal Equity, Opportunity, and Access, and the Character and Wellbeing Committees. So, Terry, thank you for being here. Paul Northington facilitated the Efficiency and Effectiveness Committee. Thank you for that work, Paul. Our friend Katie Rebele did Staff, Teachers, and Learners. She facilitated that committee, so thank you for that work, Katie. And then I facilitated the Strong Leadership Committee. So there are 7 goal areas listed there for you. And for each of these goal areas, the subcommittees then went through and determined the objectives and the action steps to meet those goal areas. So that's the next reference point in your booklet. Pages 7 through 13, there is a page for each goal area. And if you just want to start on page 7 as a reference point, the format is the same for each goal area. But you can see there under student academic learning, for example, we start with the goal defined there, student academic learning. We list our goal leader, and then we list our objectives. And each objective then has its action steps listed beneath that. And that will be the format for each of the 7 goal areas. So again, I won't walk through each of these goals and objectives and action steps because you've got it all here in the booklet, but I think it's important to note that this is a pretty comprehensive plan. There's a lot of work to be done here, which we're excited for. We're ready to roll up our sleeves and get busy, and in fact, many of these action steps are already starting to be put in motion. And I know many of our subcommittees have project plans developed and in the works already. So we're excited about getting started on that. I think it's also important to note that, as I mentioned, and in just a minute I'm going to turn it over to Glenn, and he's going to talk a little bit about measurement and the evidence that we'll track to make sure that we're making progress. But as we do that tracking process, this plan will grow and evolve. And so we may be coming back to some of these action steps and modifying and revising as we go. And we also plan on updating the board annually on each of these goal areas and giving you this progress so that you can stay informed on the timeline for these action steps. As you can see, there is a lot here, and so obviously not all of these will start at the same time. This is a 5-year comprehensive plan, and so we have a timeline developed so that we are properly implementing and working through those action steps, considering financial needs, facility needs, personnel needs, things like that. So I think it's important to note that we will be revising some of those action steps as we go, depending on the progress that we're seeing. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Glenn, and he's going to talk a little bit about our monitoring and evaluating of the plan.
Excellent, thank you. The slides that Deb pulled up is just a quick way to break down what's already inside of attached in your board document in there. So I'm just going to break it down to show certain parts of it at a time to help with illustrating just an example. But thank you. It's been a lot of fun helping support this work, and then also developing a framework that will help us see the progress and see our growth as we continue to move forward with this plan. So this has been a lot of fun for me and our team, and also working with all of our stakeholders and also our groups as we develop this framework. But essentially, the framework here is going to be built on a series of leading and lagging indicators. When you think of leading indicators, we're thinking of those indicators that really help predict the success and growth that we want to have happen, whereas those lagging indicators are often those artifacts that are the result of something at the end. And when you look at what Missouri does, they provide an annual performance report each year, and a lot of those are lagging indicators. We don't have a lot of opportunity to shift or make any changes along the way. It's an artifact. And so we want to use a balanced set. We feel a lot of those are important, so we want to use a balanced set of both leading and lagging indicators. So tonight we want just to share, and not go through every one of them, but give a quick an example of how this framework would work, aligning to, for example, our objective: increase student achievement by providing more relevant, thought-provoking, authentic learning experiences that engage all students. So each objective would have a series of evidence indicators that we would look to, again, those leading and lagging indicators that we would look to collect data on. And then we'd specify exactly what's that definition, what's the measurement, what's the exact, how are we going to calculate that number, so that way we're very clear for consistency and tracking this over time. So for each evidence indicator, we develop that measure, and then we align it with, and let's click here one more time. It's not clicking for me. Can you hit enter one more time for me? There you go. So for each evidence indicator, it would then get a rating on our measurement scale, and that measurement scale would be different based on that type of measurement we're collecting. In some cases, we might be looking at percent of students. We're hoping to meet a certain percentage of students in a particular band. Other examples, if we want to increase the number of project-based learning experiences or experiential learning experiences, that might be a number or count. So this gives us an opportunity to adjust and modify our scale to what data we're collecting that we feel important. And on top of that, making sure we're aligning not just research best practices with what data we're collecting, but also that we're matching what our community wants and desires through the process that they've already told us through the way forward in here. So we're aligning both things. Research and evidence-based practices we'll collect, along with making sure we're collecting information and data along that aligns with the hopes and dreams that we've collected from our community. The other, or final part, we'll collect or share. If we hit one more time for me, please, Deb. We'll, again, kind of roll this up into a summary for each objective. We'll give a summary so you can see about the implementation status. So what percent of the action steps are we working on for that particular objective? And then that overall impact is a kind of an average of the indicators. And every objective won't have the same number of indicators. It depends on the evidence that we need to collect that gives us a good handle on the impact we're making for that particular objective. But we'd also want to make sure we're sharing the growth from year to year. So as Dr. Counts mentioned, we will continue to share our progress, but we want to make sure that not just where we're at, but we want to see that improvement and growth. And if there is a direction in a different way or a stagnant growth, we can use those leading and lagging indicator measures to know where we need to monitor and adjust accordingly inside of there. And then so together, this was something that we'd report on annually to show an update of where we're at on each objective as we move through. Any thoughts or questions on overall summary of?
Ben?
Yep.
The one that's up there, that's not a real one, is it, or is it?
No, this is all sample data. This
shoot.
doesn't include our baseline data at the moment.
Okay.
It's all
And-
sample.
You'll fill in your first one at the end of the school year?
We'll create a baseline with this. One of the parts that we're still finalizing are the measure definitions and the measurements. Part of making sure our organization is ready to receive the evaluation is looping more stakeholders in on finalizing, developing the measure. So when we look at it again and look at the actual baseline, we're all confident and agree on the measurement definition. So we're finalizing those, and then we will do one before we start the year with a baseline of set of data.
We had something similar to this in the last 5-year plan. I mean, I like this. I like the way this is easy to read. I think the last one was fairly easy to read too. We had the blocks, and then you're in one of the spaces, and then you're trying to get into the next space, and so forth and so on. So I like this. Thank you.
I think it's also that Glenn has been really very thoughtful about this, and the team that together thinking about not only checking boxes that we've completed something, but really thinking about that impact. And I think because there are so many objectives and action steps that aren't just measured by a test score or a number, but there are other ways, there's other evidence that can show that we're making growth in an area. And so I like that we're combining both of those, that sometimes there's going to be a hard, fast percentage increase, and then there are other indicators where there may be other evidence that shows that we're making that impact and that growth.
You talked about giving us an update and reports. Is that going to be quarterly, or are you going to do it by goal? How is that going to come back to us?
I think that
refresh my mind.
Yeah, we in our plan we wrote that we would do an annual update of the.
So just at the end of the year?
Well, it could be. We haven't set that. I mean, I think that's up to Dr. Miles and charting and Laura on the tracking of the timeline. But right now we've listed it to report on each goal area annually.
I'm just thinking that somewhere midway we'd want to know how close we're getting to some of our targets, as opposed to summative at the end of here's where we are. That's just a thought.
I agree with Tammy. I
would.
think it would be nice, maybe a midpoint.
And I think with this tracking, it'll be easier to manage that.
It looks like it would be.
Because some of these will be leading indicators, so we'll have data at the midpoint to share. Some things, very similar to
Right.
think about DESI reporting that doesn't get collected or reported till the very end. So yes, absolutely.
And I absolutely could understand that part of it.
I agree 100%, especially since our board objective is develop visualizations to monitor implementation of the strategic plan. So we are going to have to figure out how we're going to monitor and evaluate our action steps, correct?
Correct, and that's one of those that we can place in here to report on how often we review it as part of your plan.
Right.
So up for the vice president. Make a motion.
Which is why that project plan hasn't been fully developed yet, Tammy, is that those are the pieces that we definitely want to see where it's appropriate, when it's appropriate to report on what pieces.
And I think we can all see that not every piece is going to come in at the same time in the
Correct.
evaluation.
And the other part, just that I forgot to include, is with these evidence indicators that we'll continue to monitor and adjust these because, for example, the state test, it's changed 4 times in 5 years in Missouri. If it changes again or criteria change or something in there, we have a flexibility with this to modify what we're looking as maybe our criteria inside of there. Similar if ACT somehow was not as popular of an assessment, maybe SAT became more popular. So this gives us flexibility to monitor and adjust what our evidence indicators are as we evaluate our way forward.
This is an opportunity to make a mid-course correction if we need to, so we don't get
Correct.
to the end of the year and go, oops, that didn't work very well, or those action steps aren't really, we need
And it's where we want to go.
getting us where we're going to go, or our community's telling us to go a little different direction. So it's the flexibility, I think, is that you build into it is very valuable.
Is this basically going to be quantitative data?
No, there will be qualitative data in there as well. Is one of the first ones that we started to look at our student surveys, including more student surveys within our kind of data collection set and our measurement definition. So there will be surveys and different perceptual data that we include in here as well.
It's quantitative data, isn't it? All right, you have open-ended questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have open-ended and take that qualitative data and
What do
flush
you
it
do
into a
if-
way that we can
Yeah.
categorize it.
What do you do if one of these goes the wrong way? You'll catch it immediately and...
And that's where we'll work with our team. So luckily we have a great support team. Within the Learning Support Services Department, we have a great section we call Cross Team that works together between our curriculum department, curriculum assessment, instructional technology, and then working in conjunction with cabinet, we'll be able to monitor and adjust and adapt.
Can be published online for the patrons?
So the booklet is online. Everything here is online. This is our working document, and then when we provide updates, that will be public.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great job.
Great work.
Any other questions?
Very thorough.
I think we always worry, from my experience in the 5-year plans, is people are really into it the first year, and it sort of dies off and sits on the shelf for the next 4 years. But I like this method where you update it each year and publish it. That pretty well keeps it at the forefront, I think.
I agree, and that's certainly been a priority for all of us that have worked on this plan, which has truly been a team effort. Because there's a lot here, and in order for us to get to some of these items, it has to kind of go sequential anyway. So in order for us to accomplish the whole plan, we have to do it in steps. So I think we absolutely will have to continue to revise, and it's going to have to be ongoing review in order to do that.
We may have talked about it, but when you get this developed fully in all the 7 different areas, can we see that so we can just at least become knowledgeable?
Sure, but the evidence and the measurement.
Baseline.
Yeah, baseline.
Yeah,
Keith, not only should we see it, we have to be responsible to it.
right.
Right, it's part of our work to make sure that it's on track or it's being adjusted. However, that's
I'm not saying you have to present it once a semester or once a
Right.
quarter, but make it available, and if we
Fair.
have questions, know where to go get our
Right.
questions answered.
Absolutely. Happy to.
I'm excited about being engaged in the process.
And I think I mentioned this at the start, but I certainly want to make sure that I give credit to so many people that worked on this. The team, all the goal leaders that are here this evening, and Shelley, who's here virtually. Kathy and Alex have been instrumental in just the editing, the producing of this gorgeous document. Glenn has been instrumental in helping us think through the evidence and the measurement. And then each of our subcommittees. Each of us has had a subcommittee of 15 up to, I think Terry had a committee of maybe 25 people. So lots of people have given feedback and participated in really making this document come to life. So we're excited about it.
Use of thought exchange was brilliant.
Thought exchange was very helpful. It really gave us, we were excited to see where our community's values lied, and it was so affirming to see that it was right in line with the work that we continue to do. So we certainly feel like we're headed in the right direction.
Have you sent a copy of this to Miss Mira Katani, who's on the front page?
She's
Great. That's good. Thank
she's
you.
our resident superstar. Any other questions?
Other comments or questions? All right, so the motion is to adapt the 2020 to 2025 Comprehensive School Improvement Plan, the way forward. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you for all your hard work. I didn't say that part. All right. next, we need a motion to approve the negotiated agreement between the Rockwood School District and miscellaneous drivers, helpers, healthcare, and public employees, Union Number 610, affiliated with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. This agreement shall be effective July 1, 2019 through June 30, 2022.
Enthusiastically so move.
Second.
A motion and a second. Katie Rebellet, take it away.
Hi, good evening. So I'm here this evening with Mike Leeser. We are very excited to be collaboratively presenting the collective bargaining agreement with the Teamsters. As you can see, we worked this spring to develop salary and working conditions, and we had a collaborative, professional, and it was even sometimes fun. Right,
it was fun a lot.
Bargain team. And to take Tom's sentiment, we really do have a bright future with our bus drivers and bus monitors. So a few of the bargain committee is here. I just want to take a second to recognize them for their hard work and effort. So if they could just stand when I say. So Vicki Parrish, Celeste Christ, Carl Tieber, of course Mike, our buddy. Russ Bowringer and Johnny Jordan couldn't be here this evening, but they were very important in the process. And of course, Paul Northington. You can stand. Mike Heyman, Stacy Neely, and Mark Unger. It was really a lot of hard work, but I think that we look for innovative solutions to problems. So I think we have a solid agreement, and we're all happy with what we're bringing to you this evening.
And I want to thank the board for the opportunity to speak tonight. I negotiate 45 contracts every 3 years, and this is one of the few that I honestly look forward to our meetings because they are friendly. The district's negotiating team sits on one side of the table, and the union's negotiating team sits on the other side. But there aren't two sides. We are really, we work together as a group, and Katie and Paul both look out for the best interests of the drivers and the monitors in the district. And I can't speak as eloquent as Tom Chessman, but I know that I speak for my committee when I say that we were very proud of what we achieved, and it truly is a pleasure to get this work done with you guys. And Katie and Paul represent the district that you guys are, and seems like in the top 10 across the state on so many things. And these two, I know, play a role in that. And so, thank you very much.
Any comments? Questions?
Two other gentlemen sitting in the audience. Did you forget to name somebody, or are they just here visiting?
I think they're just here visiting.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You could ask them if you like.
I thought maybe they were associated. I'm sorry.
All right. Anything else?
I just want to say how proud we are of bus drivers. Our children are in your hands every day, so you're very important to us.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so the motion is to approve the negotiated agreement. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? That passes. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. My next I need a motion to approve the bond issue purchases of related contracts, $7,500 to $150,000 as submitted.
Move.
Motion and second. Brenda Kirchhoffer, how are you?
Good, how are you?
All right. So we have one, right?
We have one. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward purchase. This is for furniture-related items, particularly cafeteria tables and chairs for the high schools to accommodate additional seating for the Flex lunch program that we're implementing in the fall. We've estimated approximately $50,000, and at the time when I submitted the board document, I didn't have final numbers yet, but it will probably come in much lower than that, which is a good thing. But we just needed the authority in case we needed to move quickly to get those tables ordered for the kids.
Excellent.
The space to put all of the tables and chairs?
We will find space.
You will find space.
We will find space.
Did you anticipate this when we decided on that schedule, or is this something that, as you get going, you found out about?
Well, the schedule, I mean, we've kind of determined the needs. You know, we've trying to figure out how many tables and chairs and what kind of seating we need. So once I got that, then I needed to kind of put together an estimate, and I based it, you know, on the high side just to make sure that that we were covered. But
How many-
once I got the quotes in, they were much lower.
But how many tables are you anticipating?
We're buying 8 for Marquette and 160. Actually, the chairs at Marquette I found, which is another reason we've saved money. I can reuse some of the chairs that are at the Eureka Elementary, the existing one. They have student chairs that we use in the cafeteria. So 8 chairs for Marquette, or I'm sorry, 8 tables for Marquette, 20 tables for Lafayette, and then 15 tables for Summit. And Eureka they wanted to purchase folding tables, so we're ordering 50 folding tables for them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Questions? Well done. So the motion is to approve the bond issue purchases and related contracts, $7,500 to $150,000 as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Thank you. Proposed agenda for the July 18, 2019 Board of Education meeting. Holy smokes. Dr. Mark Miles will be here for that meeting, correct? Of course he is. Anniversary doesn't keep him away. What's going to keep him away? It's not your birthday, is it? Or hers? Doesn't matter. Anything about that agenda? Everybody good? Okay, future agenda presentations and events to attend. Tuesday, July 16th is from 6 to 8, Vic Awards at St. Louis University. July 16th? Are you sending... Did you already send something out?
I sent something out already.
Okay.
Where's that at on the campus?
At the Wool Center.
Oh, Wool Center, okay.
Mhm.
Center. Is someone going? Anyone here going? I think I don't remember what I said.
I can
but-
resend it out.
Yeah, please do, just for me.
Yep.
Friday, July 19th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., RSD Administrator Conference at Lafayette High School. Is that where we have to come all day, or can we come for parts?
You can come whenever you'd like.
Okay.
It's in the works. We're planning the agenda as we speak.
Okay.
But yes, come as much or as little as you'd like.
You send the agenda to us once you finalize it?
Absolutely. Yeah, we
Awesome.
can send that out.
Perfect, thank you.
Will you remind me of that, Janet? Yeah, we'll send that out. But yeah, it will be a similar format to what we've done in years past. Obviously, Dr. Miles, it'll be an opportunity for him to get to know administrators and vice versa and spend some time together talking about, obviously, our values and vision moving forward.
Excellent.
A keynote speaker there?
You're looking at him.
Oh.
Already writing what he wants to talk about. All right, anything else? All right, let's adjourn.